But look what he's talking about here. We need to forgive as Elohim also forgave you in Messiah. Now we're talking about Elohim-level forgiveness. You know, Elohim forgives. Is there any sin that you can do that he doesn't forgive? If you commit murder, can he forgive you? Can you commit adultery? Can he forgive you? Can you steal? Can he forgive you? Can you do idolatry? Can he forgive you? I mean, what is it that you can do that he can't forgive you as far as it's a standard sin? Because everybody that's being called has done any or many of those things. All of us have done something on the list. Not the list I gave, but the full list, okay? Because maybe the few items I listed you didn't do. But you've done something, and you do them on a regular basis. All fall short. Yet, how do we then judge one another when the forgiveness has to be an Elohim-level forgiveness? Well, I can't forgive her because she did this, or I can't forgive him because he did that. I'm sorry. Do you want your father to treat you the same? Well, he doesn't do that. Well, Matthew says differently. Yeshua says in Matthew that if you don't forgive others, your Father in heaven doesn't forgive you. In case you're like, where does it say that? In the model prayer, Matthew 6, right? He says in verse 14, he says, for if you forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father shall also forgive you. But, if you do not forgive men their trespasses, neither shall your Father forgive your trespasses. Ouch. Chew on that for a little while. Because a lot of you really struggle with, well, yeah, I could forgive a lot of things, but I can't forgive that. Do you want Yahweh to look at you that way? You're all done if that's the way it is, every one of us. If he looked at us that way, we might as well just pack it in and give it up. Well, I can forgive everything, but I can't forgive that. Now, by the way, you need to listen to the teaching, forgiveness, restoration, reconciliation. I didn't say you need to be reconciled and restored to everybody. You have to forgive it, though. There is no choice, there is no option not to do that. If you do, you will be bitter. You will have all these other things inside of you that will then be a problem. But you have to forgive like he forgives. But he also tells you that if you don't, I won't either. That's the only thing that he can't forgive is if you won't forgive. It's not that he can't, he won't. He says, why should I do for you what you won't do? You want me to forgive you? Good, forgive them. You don't want to forgive people? Then why should I forgive you? Wow. I mean, everybody goes in, our Father that art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, blah, blah. No, get to the part where it says, and if you don't forgive others, he won't forgive you. The other stuff sounds so nice and pretty, give us our daily bread and blah, blah, blah. There's serious stuff in that model prayer. Yeshua said you need to pray this way, so you need to remember that if you're going to pray and you're not forgiving, you're asking for all kinds of things, he's not going to give them to you. Now, let me make sure I'm very clear about one thing, because this fits into what we're talking about in Ephesians, how we talk to one another. You, all of you, never, okay, let's be clear, never have the authority to tell somebody they haven't forgiven. Knock that off. Well, I don't know if I'm having a problem because my best friend or my mother or this one or that one told me that I have an unforgiving heart because I haven't reconciled with them. That's not forgiveness, that's reconciliation. Don't listen to that. Nobody has the right to tell you whether you've forgiven somebody or not. You know the truth, and you know if you have or you haven't. I've got people so confused because people are in their face, they don't even know if they're forgiven or not. Well, I don't know, maybe I haven't. Why? Because I don't want to restore that. Well, forgiveness is not restoration. Now, it's a necessary step if you want to restore, but you don't have to restore. If I've done something to you, you may not want to put yourself in a position where I might do it again. However, you still have to forgive me and not hold that. What's forgiveness? Go back to the teaching. I'll give it to you in 3 seconds, which is releasing the negative emotional content towards the thing that happened. Okay? Let go the negative emotions connected to what happened. That's forgiveness. That's when you say this, look at the person in the eye and say, I'm not mad at you anymore. I'm not angry. I don't hate you. I just don't want to put myself back in a position that might happen again. Oh, so you haven't forgiven me. Yes, I have. Now, you can't make them stop that, but I'm telling you, you need to stop that. You need to stop saying it to other people. Oh, well, you just have an unforgiving heart, or you just have an unforgiveness problem. Who are you to know that? Well, but they haven't done what I think forgiveness is, so therefore it must be. Well, nobody cares what you think forgiveness is. I'm trying to be blunt, I'm sorry. But nobody cares what you think anything is. What matters is what he thinks it is. All right?